Hello everybody and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia Season 9 Episode 33. Before I get into it, as always, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I have faith in you Australians. Y'all been rocking with me these last few weeks. So I believe in you. Okay, let's hit that 17K by the end of the day. I feel like we can do that. Everyone's recapping what happened the night before at the Girls and Guys night, except for Selena and Cody, where Selena has been feeling very guilty about the photo scandal, and now she feels like she needs to apologize.
I missed the point. I completely didn't see that she was really hurting, and I want to apologize for that.
You're about 7 days late, but whatever. I guess it's better late than never. And she goes over to Dominica's apartment, knocks on the door, offers a very genuine and sincere apology. And she also had gifts in hand, which Dominica accepted.
You didn't have to do that.
No, I had
but
to.
I will happily accept anything Vegemite and chocolate related. So thank you very much.
It doesn't really shock me that Dominica accepted the apology. I think at the end of the day, all she wanted was accountability from all the women in spreading the photo. And she's been a person who stands up for what's right, even when she has been in the wrong sometimes. So yeah, I was like, okay, good on you, Dominica. Be the bigger person. Brent and Tamara have been at odds for the last few days. And Tamara is feeling like she doesn't want to be pitied. So she wants to walk into the the dinner together. But my thing is with Brent, like, I don't know if he's faking the optimism, but he's always like, oh, here's a glimmer of hope.
I guess it's a step in the right direction. I'm just gonna have to see how it goes.
What hope? What? How was he still optimistic with Tamara? I feel like with Brent, a lot of the time, because they have similar banter sometimes, and because when they're not fighting, they're good, he thinks that that means, you know, things are good overall. But he looks over a lot of things. Tonight is really going to, you know, send him over the edge. But I'm like, Brent, honey, just come on. I need you to get it together, okay? You're my Australian crush right now, and you're embarrassing me. Fast forward to the dinner party, because it is the last one, everybody is wanting to get their last words off of their chest. And Dominica takes the moment to thank Selena in front of everyone for apologizing for the photo scandal, right? But the other women involved, namely Tamara, was like, girl, why are you apologizing?
Selena.
Why did you apologize? I don't want to leave you regrets.
How about the fact that it was wrong? How about the fact that you made another woman in the process feel less than? It could be classified as revenge porn if she really wants to pursue. Tamara, she really was on one today, okay? In the wake of apologies, Cody also decides to apologize to Dominica for this event and this event only. I'm like, okay, sir, she got it. And he's like, on this specific account, when I isolate it from all the other things that we've disagreed on, because there have been many, this is the only time, this right now, only in this space, am I apologizing? Okay. Thank you so much, Cody. Thank you. So while they're discussing it at the table, Olivia and Tamara are very visibly in disgust with the whole conversation. And they pipe up for whatever reason, basically saying like, okay, are you done? We're done.
That was all I was asking for. I wasn't asking for...
You're thanking her for the apology. Can we just, like, wrap it up?
Yeah, can you wrap it up? What are you trying to say to her?
I'm really over it.
Despite his wife's behavior, Brent decides to go over to Dominica and still apologize for not handling it better and not extending empathy for the situation. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not you would put yourself in a situation that Dominica put herself in, there was no need to spread it around. There was no need to talk about her behind her back. And at the first chance anyone had to go and address it with her face to face, they should have done that. Everybody in that room, Selena included, was wrong. So I'm glad that some people are fessing up. But Tamara's at a peak in today's episode, okay? So Brent is getting around to talking about what happened at the girls' party, and they're kind of saying like, oh yeah, you were kind of being thrown under the bus kind of thing. And Tamara's like, no, that didn't happen. Olivia's also like, no, that didn't happen. And then Dominica's like, really? Because I seem to remember that you reduced him from being a hospitality manager or whatever to basically a busboy. And ooh, things went left.
She did not say, I think he's so
She
sexy.
did!
Yeah, she did say that.
I really don't understand what you do for work because I've asked you before and it doesn't really make sense.
Jesus Christ.
So because the explanation didn't make sense to you, you saw it fit to make something up? And weren't you the person who was just accusing Brent last night, or whatever the night it was, of making up a job description? But now you're going to go and make a job description. This man, If it were not for COVID, I believe without a shadow of a doubt, Brent would be head and shoulders more successful than Tamara. I don't know what Tamara does. I don't know what she does, but I have a feeling Brent would have had a higher socioeconomic status. But anyways, she doesn't respect him, so it doesn't matter. They get into a really heated argument, and Brent is at the point where he's like, okay, clearly you don't respect me. Clearly you don't listen to me. I don't even know why I'm engaged in this marriage. And he throws a fit.
Every single person he knows but you.
Yeah, what's a jack of all trades
And
in
maybe that's probably
hospitality?
why they respect me more than you do, because you treat me like a head. Yeah.
The ring throwing, it was dramatic and unnecessary. Point blank and the period. There was no need for that, okay? On Brent's side, I can understand him being at his wit's end, having to deal with Tamara for all these weeks, because it seems like any effort he would have put in would be shut down, because from the beginning, she made the decision not to respect him. And throughout the process, there was nothing he could do that could change that. It's unfortunate because a lot of other people can see the great things that Brent has to offer, and also that his current situation was due to a worldwide pandemic that we're still affected by, you know? And Tamara just couldn't see past that. So that is sad. He ends up venting to Jack about how he feels unappreciated and disrespected, and rightfully so. I completely understand. Tamara, however, is now upset at Dominica because she feels like she has no right. This was rich. Tamara feels like Dominica has no right to be in her marriage, in her business. And even Olivia chimes in as well. Y'all, when I tell you the hypocrisy amongst the ladies this season is through the roof.
I was venting to you girls. Yeah, I didn't say Brent's a piece of shit or something like that.
No, you didn't say that.
Because I felt like I was frustrated.
You're the most awful person.
Jack ends up coming to Dominica's defense, which is something that he's been really good at, to be honest, regardless of the situations Dominica's put him in. And he's basically saying, listen, you have no right with the actions that you have been exhibiting the past few weeks to call somebody else a horrible human being. And then Olivia's like, oh yeah? Let me throw your wife under the bus. And it's so sad because Jack ended up being a casualty of the whole situation. But basically she was saying, in the beginning of the process, she was saying, your dick game is weak. Essentially, that's what she said. She said, your dick game is weak.
He can't you right because he too quickly.
Jack is absolutely stellar because, like I said in earlier videos, a superpower for a couple, especially a couple in turmoil, is presenting as a united front, even if they might not be, you know? And I don't think that there's a problem with that, because I feel like showing up as each other's enemy in the presence of other people ends up being a whole nother issue on its own, right? So I'm glad that Jack was like, listen, we've already talked about it both individually and on the couch in front of the experts. We've gotten help from that and we've grown from that. So cool. It is what it is. But Dominica has shown a pattern of speaking ill about Jack behind his back, and it's not cute. I hope that at some point she just cuts it out completely, maybe vents to a therapist, somebody who's unbiased, has no ties to them at all, or like a diary. I don't know, just don't tell it to people. Just don't do that. Or tell it to somebody who wouldn't use that as ammunition to run back to your husband and try to embarrass you, you know? Because now Jack, I feel so bad for Jack. Like, he's my favorite husband out of the bunch we have left. And it pained me to see him hurt. This is why I shouldn't shower right before filming these videos, because I'd be so hot and sweaty. All right, so the experts arrive with the honesty box, and the first couple is Selena and Cody. And she is asked if she feels like the attraction is now equal, and she's not quite sure as of yet. However, in a surprising turn of events, Cody is very affirming of his relationship with Selena, which we have never heard before.
We are together. We're together, yeah. You would be my partner, my girlfriend, until we choose to get re-engaged.
During the final date, Selena did express that she wanted more assurance from him, basically like, do you see longevity here? Like, am I your woman? Like, what is the deal here? And he wasn't quite understanding, but clearly with his admission here at the table, it's starting to sink in, and I'm happy. Do I see them lasting long? No. I don't. But the fact that he's able to, you know, speak that into existence, at least now they have a chance. So where Selena felt like things were one-sided, now that she's heard confirmation that, listen, I'm in this, they got a good shot. You never know, okay? Dominica and Jack are next, and Jack says that sexual attraction right now is at a 9 out of 10, and it can go to a 10 if she hops on that pole one more time. So that was cute or whatever. But he asks if she sees longevity between the two of them. And even I was shocked at her response.
Oh, God. Listening to my heart, but also in my head, I always had doubts.
Her silence alone was enough to know, was enough to kind of tell us that the answer essentially was no. So to hear it was gut-wrenching. It's a bad night for Jack. It really is such a hard time for Jack, but I'm glad she was at least able to be honest. I don't quite know if I can see them bouncing back from this, only because in their relationship, it seems like Jack is the punching bag. And he has been, in my opinion, nothing but an upstanding, noble, caring, compassionate husband. But at every turn, there's some kind of issue with how he's been or how he's been treating her or whatever. And now all of a sudden, you don't see longevity in y'all's relationship. Man, if Jack ends this season single, he's going to be just fine. He is going to be just, I'm sure, I've seen it in these comments. I am sure there's going to be a woman who appreciates everything that he has to offer. Moving on to Brent and Olivia. Brent and Tamara. Brent is asked what his favorite and least favorite things about Tamara are. And he says that although they are very good friends, she's rude.
You can be very volatile and talk down at someone.
As in, like, judgmental.
Yeah.
I am judgmental. Learn that.
Now, why is that something to be proud of? Between Tamara being proud that she's a judgmental person and Olivia being proud that she is someone who holds grudges and she's petty and she lacks empathy like a psychopath, are y'all okay? Are y'all doing all right? Is this common, Australia? Y'all let me know. Because, I mean, I understand acknowledging your personal pitfalls and saying, I do struggle with being judgmental. I do struggle with this, but I'm working on it. That's one thing. These women are like, yeah, that's me, and? Okay, that's a little bit scary. Moving on to Olivia and Jackson. Jackson is asked if the feelings are mutual, and he says, not quite, really, sort of, kinda. He didn't really give a hard line answer, but essentially he was saying no, which did not sit well with Olivia.
I don't see a future without him at this point. It would be a massive, massive heartbreak that would take a very, very long time to get over.
Word of advice. If you have a history of not getting along with your partner's friends and family, you have been petty, you hold grudges, you make snide comments, you're just rude, and then also on top of that, you're codependent on your partner and you don't want them to have a separate life, don't be surprised when they think maybe we're not gonna make it in the long run. You're shocked? You're shocked. Olivia, you're shocked? Girl, no, you should not be shocked. I feel, however, that the way that Jackson has been enabling her behavior, that they actually might have longevity. Because I feel like if you're not going to speak up about it now, you're never going to. So maybe y'all actually do belong together. Who knows? Last but not least, we have Mitch and Ella. And Ella has been really treading on thin ice when it comes to Mitch, but tonight was the night for her to take the plunge. So she's asked if he knows how to have a long-term committed relationship with her. And finally, she tells him the truth.
Everything that Mitchell has said about relationships and marriage is not the way that I see relationships and marriage.
So the answer's no.
Yeah.
Mitch gets upset and he says that being overly affectionate, being emotionally expressive is something he's not good at, never going to be good at, and it doesn't even sound like he has plans on getting better at it, which is proving her point. Like, I don't even understand why he was giving a rebuttal, because you're answering exactly what she said. She said, she said, the way that you are, the things that you say don't coincide with me. And then he says, well, I'm never going to be that kind of person. All right, so we're not going to work long term. She's right. What are you upset about? So she ends up getting emotional and she leaves the table because she's worried that she'll never be enough for him. And realistically, if she would have just bit the bullet weeks ago and been completely honest with him, regardless of his response, they would have figured this out a long time. They would have gone probably around the time Selena and Anthony left. Because the reason why they're still here and still having issues is because Ella is afraid of Mitch. She likes him too much to be honest, in fear that he's going to leave her. But girl, if it happens now or 3 months from now, what's the difference? It's not going to benefit your life being together longer just to face an inevitable end. Anyways, the last commitment ceremonies are tomorrow and Tuesday, it seems like. So we'll see who's going to stay together, who's going to leave. I would personally prefer that everybody leaves, but I'm sure we're going to get like 1 or 2 that stay together. So stay tuned for that. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.